It's Courtney doing a Facebook Live, and this is a really special one for me because this is kind of like my big announcement, my big invitation, and I know that if you've been following me, keep alluding to like I'm working on this stuff, and I started this blog about God like 6 to 8 months ago. I've kind of lost track now, and I have been working on creating a program. And this is my opportunity to share that with you. And I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to read a letter because I don't have a teleprompter. So I hope you don't mind, but I don't want to forget anything. And I hope you'll stick around and just watch this to the end. So it's been 8 months in the making, and I'm really excited because this is my announcement that I'm going back to offering one-on-one coaching programs. And if you've been following me, you know that a few years ago I put my shingle out as a health coach. And I was so excited because I was going to start my new career, and I jumped right in. And after my own health transformation, that was kind of how all this started, was with my own health scare and my own transformation. And I was so excited to help others improve their health, which I knew from firsthand experience would change almost every area of their lives. And while I loved working with my clients, I soon realized that I was getting really depleted and overwhelmed on a regular basis. And so I put the coaching practice on pause. I just really couldn't handle it. And I was too overwhelmed by my own high sensitivity and my own empathy to really manage the complexities of a coaching practice. And it just overwhelmed me. I absorbed everything my clients were experiencing as my own. I cared so much about how they were doing and what their results were and were they getting what they needed, that it really, I didn't know how to kind of distance myself and allow them to have that journey without taking everything on as my own. And I didn't have the tools to really manage my sensitivity or my high empathy in a way that allowed me to coach and show up for myself also on a regular basis. So there were really frequent meltdowns, and there were a lot of tears and really massive frustration because I kind of felt like I had found the thing that I was going to do in the world, and then I felt like I couldn't do it. And that was really painful for me. And so when I found, a lot of you also know that I moved to doing online groups for a while, and I loved it. I still would love it. I'd still be doing that if I didn't feel like I was meant to create what I've been creating over the last few months. Group programs are amazing, and they allowed me to still coach and help people, but in a way that gave me the space I needed to still really take care of myself. And and so anyway, I was allowed to keep coaching. Sorry, I'm still kind of trying to read this letter as I'm talking to you. But what ended up happening was I kind of felt after a while that it was too much at a distance. I really missed the deep connection you make with one person as you're working with them. And at the same time, I had been going through so much personal stuff that I kind of didn't share all that much except with people really close with me. But the time I spent doing that group coaching, I was doing some other really deep transformative work on myself. And so a lot has changed in the last like 15 months for me. So much has changed, and I really wanted to share some of that with you. And one is that I found my voice, and I've become much more courageous about sharing who I am and speaking my truth. I also learned how to manage and embrace my sensitivities. I used to really hate that part of myself, and I've learned to really embrace all of me in total, and embrace my empathy and learn the tools so that they don't overwhelm me anymore, which allows me to show up for coaching. And I've learned how to honor and care for myself so that I'm not giving to everybody else without also giving to myself. I've also dived much deeper into self-care, and this year what I realized is I was missing a huge piece of the puzzle. So for a long time I was really just focused on taking care of my body through food and fitness, and this year I have really taken my self-care into a whole nother level, and what I call that is soul nourishment. So I work very holistically with the mind, the body, and the soul. So I've taken it beyond food and exercise. I've also learned how to generate as much energy as I need to get for myself so that I can balance out how much I'm getting drained as a sensitive person. We get very drained easily, so I've learned how to really manage my energy. And I've learned how to get in touch with my empathy so that I can show up in the world in a really big way without getting taken down by all the big feelings that we experience as empathic people. I've also learned how to use my sensitivities as a gift, and I realize they are my purpose to help other sensitive people. And I don't feel like it's a curse anymore. And so if you haven't gone already to my website, please visit. It's thehighlysensitiveBadass.com. And I've shared a whole page on my story, which really explains why I feel called to do this work. And so I feel a huge pull to reach as many sensitive people as I can, because I want to work with people who feel like their sensitivity and their empathy is getting in the way of them leading an amazing life. I am proof that this is possible. And in my story, I really talk about how I felt like it was a curse for years, and that I felt like I was a slave to my sensitivity, and I felt allergic to life. And it was so frustrating because I felt like I had so much inside me that was ready to just bust out, and so much good that I could do in the world. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get my act together long enough to show up in a consistent way in the world. And this was tremendously frustrating to me. I had a call with my coach and my friend Victoria. And if you've heard the term light worker before, we were joking that I felt like I had all this stuff to give and I was frustrated that I couldn't give it. And if you have sensitive ears, just turn the video off for a minute, because we called it light worker blue balls. So if you have I'm sorry. It's really funny, isn't it? If you have light worker blue balls, like, I hear you. That is exactly how I was feeling at that time in my life. So I have to recover now from that, because I think that's kind of hysterical and kind of inappropriate, which is, I kind of like that also. But anyway, read my story, because I really am proof that it is possible to feel like a hot mess and move into some place of empowerment as a sensitive and empathic person. So I've turned this into empowerment, and with that, I really want to introduce my programs. I'm so excited about them. So I have 2 programs, and the first is designed for the highly sensitive light worker, and it is about living your purpose. It's about getting rid of your light worker blue balls. It's about unlocking your sensitive superpowers so you can show up in a huge way and help as many people as you were meant to help in this world. Big mission. This is for big mission people. And the other one is, as putting my health coach hat on, it's weight loss for sensitive women who love to eat, because I love to eat and I never wanted to feel deprived. And so this is all about self-care. It's about finding your health, looking at weight loss as a spiritual journey, as a way of nourishing your mind, your body, and your soul. So why did I create these programs? And the reason is because I really believe that highly sensitive people are such a huge gift to the world, but so many of us are living just kind of feeling like we are drained and overwhelmed, that we can't show up all the time. And this is a quote from me. I wrote that a highly sensitive person at their best is a gift to the world, but a highly sensitive person who is living life overwhelmed, depleted, and in the shadows robs the world of their light. And if you can relate to hiding, then I hear you, because I feel like I was hiding for years, like just in the shadows, so scared to be seen, worried about being judged, what people would think of me. And so I'm so excited to reach the people who feel like they are hiding, because we have so many gifts to share the world. So these programs are a way for sensitive people to fill their well and then generate as much energy as they're giving on a regular basis. And I really want, the other thing that is just tremendous is to create a community of sensitive people so we don't feel alone. I think if you can relate to this, most of us have grown up feeling like we are different, that we're alone, that we're broken in some way, and it's just not true. There is nothing wrong with us. We are amazing. We just need the tools to figure out how to honor our sensitivity so we can show up and feel amazing on a regular basis, and so that we can share these gifts that we have with the world. And you don't need to have a huge mission to help, change the world, but it might just be that you're a mom who loves her kids so much, and your mission is to raise the most amazing, wonderful kids in the world. Like that's part of my mission, as I feel like that means you are a light worker. You know, you are here to love up on everyone you know, and it could just be your family, it could be your friends. That could be your mission, and I love that mission, just spreading as much love as possible. So it's about learning how to really thrive in ways we may not have ever thought possible, and looking at it as a power instead of a limitation. And for many of us, our life purpose is directly linked to our sensitivity. So it's really about learning more about this and how you can use these gifts in your work with the world. So how do you know if you are the right fit for this program? So I'm going to read some kind of descriptors so that you can see if this fits who you are. And one is that you're bright and kind and gifted and giving, and you know there's something amazing inside of you, but you feel limited because of your sensitivity, as though being highly sensitive is a curse and instead of a gift. The other is that you have huge dreams in many areas of your life, for your relationships, you know, for your career. Maybe it's just you love your community, but you're struggling to accept and love your highly sensitive nature, and you feel like it's keeping you from really giving in all these areas that you really want to give in. Or you could be struggling with your weight and your health. That's part of my story, and I know a lot of sensitive people really do struggle with health and weight. That's a big thing for us. And so if you feel like that's what's going on for you, then this program is really going to help teach you how to honor your body and your body's needs, and honor your sensitive needs as a person who has a very sensitive body like I do. Or you might just crave a much deeper understanding of your unique needs and your blueprint. This is like a blueprint. It's how we are wired, and it is different than 80% of the population. You are wired in a very unique and special way. So it's about learning much more about your blueprint and how you're wired. And you're ready and willing to learn what you need to put in place in order to thrive. So it's also great for you if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're just overwhelmed by the world and you need help navigating that portion of things, and you're ready to create a lifestyle that honors you. And also, if you're ready to be a light in the world, we talked about that, what a light worker is. And also, if you're really ready to invest in yourself, but you need guidance and support to do it. So not only is like working on yourself is not, you know, it's not an easy thing. You don't just sit there and change happens to you. You invest in yourself, and you invest your time, your money, and your energy into change. So if you have time and you're really ready to do this, then this is also a great time for you to start working on this. So if you can relate to any of these, then really the best thing to do is just share your story with me. I really want to connect with you and hear from you. There are zero strings tied to talking to me. I want to connect with you because I want to hear what's going on for you. And if we are fit to work together, it's going to feel right to both of us. I really do believe that there are people who are meant to be, you know, working together, and I feel like I'm meant to serve certain people. I'm not here to serve everyone on the planet. So if you feel like a nudge or a connection when you're watching this to connect with me, then listen to that nudge. But if you don't feel that, don't connect. You know, it's truly meant to be beneficial to both of us. And I really believe in that. So there's just no pressure and no strings in talking to me at all. And so I have a 6-month program, and I'll tell you more about it. There's going to be a lot more loaded up on my website soon. But right now, a 6-month program. It's a one-on-one program working with me directly. And it's rolling enrollment, but I only have space for 10 women at a time, or a special man. I'm willing to really work with beautiful men. I'm definitely open to that. I just tend to work more with women. So if you're a man and you're watching this and you feel called to work with me, I'm totally open to that. I would love to talk to you also. But I only work with 10 people at a time, because what that does is it is a boundary for me. It allows me to honor my sensitivity and my boundaries so that I can keep my own energy, both for myself, but also for you. So it's about making sure that I'm at my best so I can give the most that I have to you. And I know you get that if you're sensitive. So I have 10 spots available at any given time. And I would love, if you feel the call to be one of those spots, I would love to talk to you. And that's really it. I'm going to put a link to connect with me in the descriptor of this video, and just sign up. It's a 30-minute call for me, no strings. We'll find out more about what's going on with you. I really would love to hear more about your life as a sensitive or empathic person and see if it might be a good fit for us to work together. If you watched this whole thing, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And if you know someone who might benefit from this, I hope you'll share it with them, because truly I want to reach as many people as possible. And not even if I'm meant to work with them one-on-one, but I just want this message to be out in the world, because I think so many people still don't even know what this is, or that there is such a thing as a highly sensitive person or an empathic person, and they are the ones feeling alone. So I want to reach them so they can start to really feel like, oh my God, there's nothing wrong with me after all. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful day today, and I hope to connect with you soon. Bye.